Okay, hey you guys. Today I am going to show you exactly how we budget for each month and kind of like our thought process, how we go through this, and how we're like using this to pay off debt. So I'm in Everydollar. You can use whatever budgeting app you want, Mint, YNAB, whatever. This is just what me and my husband use. So I'm going to start from March. The first thing I do is just to copy over February's budget. That way I just have like most of the information in. Obviously, a lot of this changes month to month. So I'm going to start to just put in some of the stuff that will change. So last month we got some grants from my husband's schooling. He was in the Air Force, so he gets school for free. He's currently enrolled full time, which means that he gets a housing allowance. So he gets this amount every month that he's enrolled full time in school and is there for every day of the month. So my sister-in-law also lives with us. She sends us rent money. It fluctuates a little bit because she also pays us for a third of the groceries. So usually I just put about $600 in here and then we edit that as needed. My husband, while he was in the Air Force, was injured, so he gets a disability payment of this amount per month. And then I am now on salary starting at the beginning of the year, so my paychecks are now the same, which is very nice just to be able to pre-plan that kind of stuff, because now pretty much all of our income is pretty like easy to plan for. So I leave savings blank and I come back to this after. Our rent month to month changes because it includes utilities. The most it has ever been is $23.50. That's for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in Colorado. It is pretty expensive. We're going to move once our lease is up to a cheaper place, but because we split it with our sister-in-law, it makes it a little more affordable. Since we don't know the exact utilities, I just put the most amount, the max that we've ever paid, just to make sure that we have enough money to actually afford that. Same thing on Excel. It changes month to month. $200 is the most it's ever been, so that's what we cap it at. Comcast has always been the same. YouTube TV is the same as well. My mom and sisters do split this with me and they send me money, but I just don't budget for that until they actually send me money for it, and then I'll put like $25 in the other category up here. Spotify, that is my account. I can't remember how much it is. Let's look. I have a list of all my subscriptions in Notion here, and that way I can keep track. It's $11 a month, so oops. $11 there. Gas, we usually don't spend too much on gas because we work and go to school pretty close to home. We do pay for toll fees usually every other month. We had to pay for them in February, so my guess is that we will not have to pay for them this month. Groceries, $600. That includes baby diapers, all of our food for 3 adults and a baby. It includes all of our household products, cleaning products, dog food, cat food. So that's why that is kind of high. Coffee and alcohol, I'm actually going to make $100. We buy our coffee in bulk, and it's about $70. So we're going to buy that this month, and that leaves $30 left over for beer or wine or whatever. Eating out, we're trying to keep it super low just until we get a little more debt paid off. So $50. It buys a couple lunches here and there, but nothing crazy. Health insurance, this is for me and my daughter. We use CHM, and that is just our insurance. My husband gets insurance through the VA. This insurance is our renter's insurance and our car insurance, as well as like insurance for our rings and things like that. So that fluctuates a tiny bit month to month, but that's going to be for March. Life insurance, that's me and my husband. That is both of ours combined. Cell phone. We use Google Fi for our cell phone provider, so it's super cheap because we're always on Wi-Fi. So me and my husband both pay $55 combined for our cell phone. It fluctuates month to month depending on how much data we use. We're almost always under 1 gigabyte unless we're on vacation and we're using Wi-Fi more, cell data more. But 55 is the highest it's ever been, so we usually put 55 here. Car payment. We are working on paying off my husband's car right now. We paid $2,000 extra last month which should bring our car payment minimum down quite a bit. But normally this is what our minimum has been in the past, $567. So I'm going to change that because this should drop, and then any extra money that we get this month is going towards our car payment. So I'm just going to put $567 for now, and then once we know what our minimum is, we'll adjust this, and then we'll also adjust for our extra payments. So my student debts are pretty inexpensive right now. That's what we'll start working on once the car is done. Then we have our personal spending accounts. These were kind of wonky because we all carried over money from the previous month. We also signed up for the Boulder, a race in Colorado that they do every Memorial Day. And then we also paid for TurboTax in February. So those can all go away. Our tithe, we're probably going to bump this up again. We've been slowly bumping it up, trying to get to our 10% by the end of the year. Gifts. My sister-in-law is having her baby shower, so we actually bought those gifts last month. But there's no birthdays except for like some cousins, so nothing crazy here. So we'll just do $20. That's enough to buy someone a beer if we're going out for someone's birthday, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so that is the end of our budget. There are a couple things this month that I want to look at. So we have all of our subscriptions here. One of the things that we will have coming up this month is our Sam's Club membership. It's $100 per month. And we're not sure if we're going to renew that or not yet, but I'm going to add an extra $100 into groceries. And then I'll also say, and Sam's Club's membership, just so if we do decide to keep it, we've budgeted for it. And if not, that's an extra $100 that can roll into our debt. We have a couple other things in here. My Squarespace website is going to be due. That's $144. That comes out of my business account, which is why I'm not paying myself this month, or I haven't budgeted to pay myself yet, because I'm going to be moving some stuff around. So once I know how much I'll be able to pay myself for that month, I'll put it in here. But for now, I'm just going to leave that blank. I don't need to do anything with that. That's just to help me plan for it. And then my daughter is also going to need one more round of shots this month, so that will be $30. I'm going to add that into her budget, and just make a little note. We do budget $100 a month for my daughter, just like my husband and I get $100 a month, and that's to buy her clothes, toys, like new pacifiers. If we go over in our grocery budget, that falls into like milk and snacks for her. Whatever. If we don't use the whole budget, that's great. If we do, then we had already budgeted for it. So that's what's kind of nice about this budget. All right, so that leaves us $575 left over. We always leave ourselves a little bit of wiggle room just for expenses that we forget about or things that come up that we weren't planning on. So the only thing I'm going to do here is add a little bit of money into our medical expenses. Let's just make that what's happening? An even $200. That's for me and my daughter for when we have little doctor visits and stuff. We have to pay out of pocket before we're getting money back. So that is how we plan for that. I'll probably top off this car budget as well because we're going to need oil changes and things like that soon. Why do I keep doing that? And I'm doing my math wrong? Ugh. Okay, so we'll make that $400. And then for Christmas, we are working on trying to put $100 a month into here, but we actually had some extra to put in last month, so we are at our $300 goal, which is what we want. So we're going to roll all $500 into an extra car payment. So we should be able to make an extra $1,000 or an extra $500 car payment, and it might end up being more than that because if our minimum payment goes down, we'll just roll that money into our principal payment. So that leaves us $1.21 left to budget. Like I said, my sister-in-law usually pays us for groceries, so this number will go up. My mom and sister's pay us for part of the YouTube subscription fee. So this will also go up, and then eventually I will pay myself from my business. This will go up. So that leaves us some wiggle room. If we spend more money on groceries than we planned, if we have to pay some toll fees, whatever. But that way almost every single dollar is accounted for, and I can make sure that we're covering our expenses and putting a good chunk of money towards our car payment. The other nice thing is that I think we should be getting our tax refund. It's only about $600, but we should get that this month, and that will also be rolled into our car payment so that we can just knock that debt out. All right, you guys, that is it for this budget with me. Let me know in the comments if you like these, if you want to see them monthly, or if you use a totally different app that you think is wonderful and you want me to check out. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.